and it's a lovely day in the North Pennines. It is indeed a glorious day in the North Pennines, which in this area is quite rare. So therefore, I am really looking forward to what I can find out today. What a glorious day! And a good morning from a gorgeous day in the North Pennines. First things first, where am I? Well, if I stop, spin round slowly, pointing out some, shall we say, landmarks, see if you can guess. First of all, just round the corner a bit there is Selset Reservoir. And in the background there, just on that edge of that hill there, is Goldsborough. And there is Shacklesborough. Any ideas yet? Keep on going round, and over that area there somewhere is a stone circle. And finally, spin round, and in the distance there is Mickle Fell. So where am I? I'm back in Loondale. Now then, you might be thinking, what's he doing back in Loondale? Well, A, it's a glorious day for a hike, so why not take advantage of it? B, I'm after some nice sights, perhaps, depending on how the weather's been. And C, I'm after, shall we say, finding something very rare. In fact, so rare that in England it is only found in the North Pennines. Intrigued? So am I. Let's go. And barely a mile and a half in, and the first surprise of the day. Fish Lake. And there's the old quarry dam that formed the lake. Amazing. The site of an old mine. It's fairly impressive. And with the site of the old mine in the background, I set off towards my first surprise of the video. Through deep heather and grass, alongside a stream. But where could I be heading? And the first stop of the day, Arngill Force. Arngill Force is beautiful. What a pretty waterfall. Well worth the detour. And the images I capture here are stunning. Nature at its best. That was gorgeous. Well worth a visit. Now, it's on to the next place. And as I pass again the views of Close House Mine, past old sluices and water tanks
of days gone by.
That is some steep climb.
It is time for me to attempt my first summit.
And welcome to my first summit, the summit of standards.
And the views are amazing.
First order of the day, the legs are coming off. It's too warm. Now my apologies for this. Having to bare my legs on YouTube. But it's far too warm now. I think at the moment it's about 26 degrees. So, with the summit of standards achieved and the milk bottle legs out, it's time to move on to the next summit. What a glorious view.
It is indeed glorious. Views from miles around as I follow this shooting track, ranging from mat to wooden bridge and back on bare ground. But the views nevertheless amazing. Until, like so many places in the North Pennines, it's time to follow a fence.
And it wouldn't be the North Pennines without at least some peat hags. Actually, it wasn't that bad. Never mind. Onwards. Not long to go now.
And it is indeed a short hike to the top of Hagworm Hill. And from there, an even shorter hike to my eventual destination.
And finally, I'm here. Now, believe it or not, on that hillside over there is Church Bowers, where I was in my last video. So, if I'd woken up and the mist hadn't been there, I would have had a view of this hill. But it wasn't to be. Never mind, I'm here. And welcome to the summit of Bink Moss. And whose summit is marked with the most unusual of markers, a pair of Wellington boots. Now, with the summit of Bink Moss just in the background there, have I achieved everything I set out to achieve? Well, no. Because you remember at the beginning, I said I was on the lookout for something extremely rare. And I found it. And it's directly behind you. So where is it? This special thing. Well, believe it or not, I'm standing on it. A curry pot. So, what is a curry pot? Well, if I come off it a bit, there's a leg down there, a leg along here, and a leg up there. Bit like a flattened tripod really, and a central raised section in the middle. Now what's its function? Well, believe it or not, it's a trig point. Now as soon as you mention the word trig point, most people immediately think of trig pillars, which are the large trapezoidal, normally painted white, pillars that stand on normally the summits, and people will tap the top to say they've reached the summit. But there is a problem in this area, in that it's very boggy and very peaty. And these trig pillars and their foundations can get to quite a size in some areas, and the weight can push it down into the ground. And if it goes down, it can tip. And that's the last thing you want when you look for somewhere perfectly level to put a theodolite. So, someone I believe called either Colonel Curry or Captain Curry came up with this idea of having 3 legs outwards to help spread the weight. And underneath these are iron bars going down into bedrock, sometimes as deep as 20 feet, to help anchor it and help spread the weight. And in the middle, they would put the theodolite. Now, when I said they were rare, there's only 3 in England. There's this one on Iron Band, and one on Herdship Fell. All the rest, I believe, are in Scotland. So, a very rare trig point. Fascinating. So, as I leave the summit of Bink Moss behind at its rare trig point, fascinating stuff. What a gorgeous day it's been, and there's still a descent to come. Amazing.
As I slowly make my way down from the summit of Bink Moss, the views are still absolutely tremendous. Until I meet a shooting track. And this shooting hut, which will become very busy very shortly. And as I continue my hike down the side, crossing this ford, which despite all the dry weather is still flowing quite nicely. Across a farmer's field and back to the road. And then a slow hike back to my starting point at the car.
And that's it for now. It's been enjoyable. The heat's been oppressive at the end, but I've still enjoyed it. It's been nice to be out on a nice day. Hope you've enjoyed it as well. Whether you have enjoyed the scenery, the images, or even just the journey, do not forget, everything you've watched, everything you've seen, this is nature.